Episode 45. A tumultuous head coaching gamut.
The Real Estate Tailgate, we are back remotely because it's cold as cold out there. What's up, fellas?
What's up? Yep, it's cold and snowy.
Snowy. Yeah.
Snowy, icy, slippery. I don't like it.
I was already out this morning. As I told you guys, they had a closing, an early closing, and man, it was cold.
Yeah. Yep.
Bring
Well,
the car
congrats on
off
that.
and
Yep.
ugh,
Cold and snowy.
it was cold. I'm back in the comforts of my home office.
Yep,
There you
same.
go.
Same.
If anyone needs me, the phone's on, but I'm at the home office today.
Yeah.
Hey, it's all good. I'm doing the same thing, bro.
I like your background, David.
Yeah, thanks. Always forget to use it once in a while. I got a Wings one too, but I got my Wings shirt on today in honor of the Red Wings.
All right.
So
all
I
right.
like it.
You're Mr. Detroit. You got it all.
yeah, I got it all going today except for my hat, man. Best college team. But anyway,
I think I beg to
I think
differ.
the best college team
I beg to differ.
is Indiana, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. The Natty,
Yeah.
right? Indiana won.
Oh, yeah,
That bought and paid for team.
Yeah, we're just so everyone knows, we're taping right now, the day after the conference championship games for the NFL.
Yeah.
So this is Monday, and so we now know who's going to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But you brought up the Natty, so let's talk about the Natty because that was last week.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we got to mention it, right?
Last Monday.
It was a
Yeah.
good game. The first half I thought was boring, but
Yeah,
the second half turned into a good game.
Yeah, it did turn into a good game. And what was the final score? I think like 27-21, something like that.
Yeah, let's take a
It
look.
was like a year ago. I don't even remember.
Yeah. The score was real quickly. Go down here. It was 27-21 Hoosiers. So
Just like I said, and since we brought that game up, I think a lot of people thought that the Hoosiers are going to win. I mean, I thought that the game would be close, and it did become a good game in the second half. Um, Obviously, everyone knows that Miami has a great defense.
It was a good game. The second half, it was a good. Miami put up a good battle, man.
Yeah, they did. And
ultimately, though, that defensive the line, the trenches for Indiana, man.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Indiana has it all, man. I mean, think about it. They got Superman for a coach. They got Batman for their quarterback, or at least they did. He'll be gone, right? He's
he'll be going to
slated
Vegas.
probably,
He'll be going to
yeah.
Vegas.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's probably number one pick.
Ooh.
But Heisman winner.
Is Vegas the new Cleveland?
Heisman winner. Well, hey, we're going to talk about that in a minute, man, when we start talking about coaches and stuff. But yeah, I mean, they had it all. Good defense, good offense, good special teams. I mean, they had it all. They were clicking and
good alumni money.
Well,
it's that Titans of industry money, baby.
I mean, they're gonna be recruiting like crazy now, man. I mean, it's kind of funny. I don't know. I was since we're on the subject, just real quick, I was flipping channels. Around this time of the year, they always have the high school showcase on one day. I think it was like that. It might have been the same weekend right before the Natty game. They have like the top high school players and they split them up and they play. You probably used to watch it years ago more. I didn't even know they still televised it, but I was flipping channels. They had it on. And during the game, they'll have certain players commit to schools. Man, they had I want to say 2 or 3 wide receivers committing to Indiana. And I think I saw like a defensive guy. So
it don't mean much anymore like it used to, though, because
no, it
you
don't
know if they're going to
just
stay there or not, or
I know, but and so some of them don't even hold to their commitments. But it's just
it's not like it used to be like exciting, like, oh, look who Notre Dame
Yeah.
recruited. Look, Ohio State recruited. Now, yeah, half the time they don't even make it to the first season.
Yeah, that's so
They'll
true.
jump
That's
ship or hit the portal, and
well, yeah, it's all about the you know.
About
But
that
no,
paper.
that's so
follow
true.
the
But it's just
money.
funny. It's just funny to hear Indiana's name that many times,
Yeah,
because they're just getting a lot of success right now. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And they did finish what 20 and 0. They didn't lose a game at all.
Yeah,
Undefeated
they finished
16 and
16 and
0.
0.
or 16 and 0.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm thinking of NFL schedules or something like that. But anyway, yeah, totally undefeated, man, and never been to a natty before. I mean, just crazy. It's a crazy year for them. So big kudos to them. Congrats.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep, they did
absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. Well, and also too to that point though, I know I've talked to you guys about this off the air, but I th- not I think I know for that this is only going to do so much for the conference of the Big Ten because now this is the third in a row team from the Big Ten that has won the national championship. Like the what is the SEC? I don't know what that is. This is only going to elevate the conference and Indiana, the expectations for other programs throughout college, and I'll even say even going into the NFL, like the turnaround that Signetti did for that team is just incredible. What after 2 years? Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. So yeah, I knew they were going to do it. Like after seeing their performance against Alabama, and I think really now that's like the biggest tell. It's like if they beat Bama, they're more than likely going to do it. So and they did.
Yeah, and it's always great when they can when the Big Ten can be elevated. And I see Mitchell Thomas over there smirking a little bit when you said three. Did you have any comments you wanted to make, Mike?
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
All right, I'm going to throw out. You said 3 Big Ten winners, with one with an asterisk. You left the asterisk off.
I knew that was coming.
Listen,
When Michigan cheated.
listen,
Is there an asterisk on your hat?
They were
Is that an
acquitted.
asterisk on your hat?
They were acquitted. It's okay. They were not found guilty. So there you go. The justice has prevailed. But yeah, no, in all seriousness, no, it is really incredible to see what is happening with college football, and it's the NIL. Hey, listen, when you can pay your players, and you got
I don't like it.
alumni databases that got deep pockets, like
I
we
don't like
said.
I don't like where it's going, but
Yeah,
it is
I don't
what
either.
it is.
It's out of hand, but that's a whole.
Yeah.
We could do 3 shows on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just there's so much. It's a little chaotic. That's just
So-
I guess that's the best word I can use. But
Get on to
it
the
is what it
NFL.
is. Yeah, we live with it right now. We try to enjoy it the best we can, and hopefully we can continue to at least enjoy it to a point. So now let's jump over to the NFL because that's like we said, we're taping the day after the conference championship game. So we know who's going to the Super Bowl.
The Hawks and Walter's Patriots.
I'm going to edit that out. I am editing that. How dare you?
Yeah,
Oh.
Seahawks.
So
So
none of our predictions were right, were they?
No.
3 of us.
no.
Yeah, no, I had Denver and the Rams. I was close.
Yeah.
I mean, they were
Oh,
both
yeah, I
in
was
championship game. And let's be honest, if Bo Nix didn't get hurt, they'd be going to the Super Bowl.
Probably.
High percentage. Highly
Yeah.
likely. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
especially that game.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that game for a second, man. With the weather changing.
Yeah. I know, man. It was like
It was
a beautiful
crazy.
sunny day. Like
I mean-
all of a sudden a snowstorm.
I mean, it started off like as a defensive battle, man, but then when the weather came in, it didn't even freaking matter.
Yeah.
No one could do anything. I mean,
No.
the kickers couldn't even kick.
No, the kicking was, I mean, it wasn't horrible. It was just the conditions. They couldn't do it. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was
So,
crazy.
I guess the only and I agree with you, man, because
Although I think he should have took that field goal earlier. The weather wasn't quite that bad,
Yeah.
and they would have had 10.
Yep.
Well, yeah, yeah. Well,
Sean
two
Payton.
things. That's one thing. The other thing too, and this is just my opinion. Um, you know, I like Denver's coach a lot, but I think that last interception that Stidham threw, that was a bad call to make a pass. I mean,
Yeah,
the weather was bad. You got someone that hasn't been playing quarterback all year.
that was a
You know
bad
the ball
pass.
isn't going to go as far as it normally does, and that pass was short. That's why it
Yeah, it
was
was
intercepted.
bad. It was a
That
bad
was a bad call
interception.
on a long pass.
Yeah,
And trying to make it all up. I mean, they still had plenty of time, but the interception that just ended the game.
yeah,
Yeah.
Basically, you gave the ball back, and now you couldn't do anything. So,
Right.
yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah,
to me that was a bad.
that weather was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
also
You
but
too.
know,
Yeah.
I was at a game once where that happened. I was at the Notre Dame game 2 years ago with my daughter. It was in November. We were in South Bend, and it was like a beautiful sunny. I mean, it was cold. Don't get me wrong. It was November. It was cold, but it was like blue skies, sunny. It was just a nice game. Then all of a sudden, the second half, this snowstorm, whiteout blizzard rolled in out of nowhere. Like, I mean, we were like buried. We got buried. We had to leave the game. It was so bad. Like it was horrible.
well,
So
yeah,
it's pretty
and
wild when that happens. It reminded me of that. I just thought of it.
well,
yeah,
also
good old
yeah.
Midwest weather
Yeah.
What,
can
but
change in
also
a
too
heartbeat.
to go along with that though, even with like the announcers had even mentioned it too, like because it's the color of the Patriots uniform was white. So can you imagine
Yeah.
having to
Yeah.
be on the field, what regardless of which team you were playing for,
Yeah. It was
having to,
difficult.
having to try to navigate like
Yeah.
who
They
you're,
did camo. They camouflaged for sure.
yeah. So
They
that,
blended in.
yeah, that to me was just like, man, like, oh, but yeah, the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl.
So I
Yeah.
made a
Well,
comment to you guys last night that the Patriots had a weak schedule and a weak conference and a weak division. I mean, and you know, I might have to stand corrected because they did beat some top defenses. I mean, you got to give them credit. Um, they beat the Chargers, who are the number five defense. The Texans, they beat the Texans. Texans were the number one defense. And then they just beat the Broncos, who are the number two defense. So I guess we do got to give some credit. I was kind of down on them yesterday saying, they ain't going to do nothing. But I still think the Hawks are going to win it,
yeah,
personally.
well, I mean, but they beat the Texans in the playoffs, right?
Yes.
And same thing with yesterday.
Yes.
So I
And that's
don't
what I'm
I
saying.
don't
Those
really
were
yeah,
defense.
their
Those were
regular
tough.
season was, I mean, it wasn't soft, but it wasn't tough. Their regular season wasn't real tough. I mean, the Chargers to me were up and down. Um, that's just my opinion, but I'm not a Harbaugh fan. So, but anyway, yeah, their regular season was not the toughest. The playoffs, they did step up in the playoffs, but I mean, you watched that Texans game too, man. I mean, my boy Stroud just choked. I mean, he turned into a
I don't think
turtle
your boy's
every.
going to be in the NFL anymore after that performance.
Yeah, you know
That was
what? I mean,
bad. That was
yeah, that was
bad.
really, and that wasn't the first time,
No.
No,
unfortunately. You know, I mean, I love me some Stroud, man, and he's
that
a
was
Buckeye,
man.
but
That was a bad.
yeah,
That
that
was
was a
just that
bad
wasn't even a
outing.
good game, man. It was a terrible game.
So yeah, I mean,
I
but
digress.
like, well, they're going to the Super Bowl regardless. They earned it. They're
Yep.
going. Um,
So who are
you
you
know,
picking? Who do you think is going to win?
oh man, the Patriots have to lose. That's all I have to say.
I'm rooting for the
Like,
Hawks for sure.
yeah, I'm rooting for the Hawks.
I don't even need to ask Walter.
Well, well, well. Let's talk about that Hawks game too yesterday. I mean, and this is kind of a theme because going back to the college natty game, you guys probably don't remember, but to me, this was a year of defense and special teams. The natty game, let me remind you, there was a block punt that Indiana did. Remember
Yes.
that?
Yes.
And an interception towards the end. So defenses and special teams stepping up. And then last night in that game, the Rams had a
Rams.
chance.
Oh
The
my
Rams had a
God.
chance to. Okay,
That punt that he didn't catch. Oh my God.
I know, but the
That's
thing about
game
it,
changing.
the,
Game
the
changing.
their punt receiver, Xavier Smith. A lot of people don't remember this, but early in the game, he flubbed
Yeah,
he
I
flubbed
saw
it,
it.
but he got it
But
back.
he got it. He like knocked it
Yep,
down in front of him and then dove on it. Yeah.
exactly. And
The other one,
then
he
the
like
one
fell backwards and I don't know what it was.
and then the
Was
one that
it
he
was not
missed
good.
that Seattle ended up scoring on, right?
That
Eventually
was
they
game
scored.
changing.
That
And
was game
then
changing.
the
Yep.
Seahawks get that taunting, and Stafford comes right back and makes them pay for it with a touchdown pass.
That was
Wow.
yeah, that was
That
crazy.
that was a 4th and 14, and they get a 15-yard penalty. Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy, man.
Crazy. Crazy.
But the
People were
Seahawks held
bitching
it.
about that penalty, but that was all day. That was a penalty. You cannot go jumping up and down the other team's sidelines doing that. That's taunting. So I saw
Yep.
on social media people were calling it no fun league and all that shit. But dude, that was taunting every day in the NFL. That's gonna get flagged all the time.
Oh yeah,
And right in
yeah.
front of the ref. He's right in front of the side judge. So
Yeah, but they held it together and they came
yeah,
up, they ended up on top, Seattle did. So kudos to them. And
yeah. So
and
Seattle's
and
favored by 4.5 in the Super Bowl already opening.
yeah, that's what I heard. And I think you said this we were texting during the game, you said, or after the game, you said it was a good story about Darnold. I mean,
Yeah, I feel good for
wow.
the dude. Everyone
Yeah,
rips on him. I feel good for him.
yeah. I
Well,
He had a
mean,
good game. He
you
played
know,
good yesterday.
you
he
know
had a
who really
great
hates
game.
Darnold right now is Minnesota.
He he made some
Yeah.
good throws yesterday, man. He did.
Oh yeah. Well, he does all the time
He made some
usually.
good throws under pressure though yesterday. Man, he
Yeah.
had a
Well,
good
that's
game.
just it.
He
He
had a good game
usually always
yesterday.
makes good throws. Sometimes he has a bad game and makes good throws to the opposite team, but they're still good throws, you know.
Yeah,
But
Minnesota can't be happy.
No,
yeah,
they're
they yeah.
they're punching the air right now. Well,
It-
you know what? I guess it goes back to one of those debates of, you got a talented player, regardless if it's QB, wide receiver, tight end, whatever the case may be. Sometimes they just need a change of scenery.
Yeah.
So in this
yeah,
case, Darnold got
and
his change of
and
scenery.
and I'm on a segue. Sometimes a change of scenery does no good because I was rooting for I was rooting for the Rams. My Super Bowl picks were the Rams and the Texans have been gone. But the Rams had a chance. I wanted to see Stafford make another Super Bowl before he retires, man, because he ain't going to be around too much longer. I got a feeling. Um, but with that said, it would have been nice for him. You know, I hate to say this, but I like Corum. um, Corum, the
Yeah,
running back from that
I
road
texted
team.
you
yeah,
guys yesterday. I said he's having a good game.
I
Yeah,
know.
he had a good.
He was having a nice little game there.
Well,
Yeah.
he's a good running back, man, and they used I mean, sometimes I've seen some games during the season, parts of some of their games where I thought they could have used him some more, But I know they have sort of like a duo
Kyron
running back.
Williams, Notre Dame.
Yeah, yep. So, but yeah, they got a good running back core. But that my segue is in regards to this Devontae.
He had a good game.
He
Stafford
had
had
a
a
good.
good game. Stafford, man, I thought Stafford was going to come back and win it. I really did.
Yeah, but Devontae, here's the stat, man. Devontae's never been to a Super Bowl, and now in conference championship games, he's 0-5.
Oh,
Oof. Oof.
I mean, he's like one of the best wide receivers ever. I think
oh.
he's led the NFL in like yards, pass yards, or something like that, like I think on three different teams. And the guy's never been to a Super Bowl. So it would have been nice to kind of see him. I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
some of
I
these
wasn't
wide
really
receivers.
rooting for anyone. I would have been happy. Same, I would have liked to see Stafford again, but I really didn't have a dog in the race, a dog in the fight. I didn't. I just enjoyed the game. I was good with
Yeah,
whoever
I
won.
did too. Well, yeah, I'm looking at players and I'm thinking when you hear that, it's shocking.
Part
You
of
know
me
what I mean?
wanted to see Stafford get another Super Bowl, But there's part of me that was like, do I really want to see Stafford go to another Super Bowl? Sounds like 50-50. Like, I would have been fine if he would have done it. So he's a good quarterback. He had a good game too.
Yeah, no, he
Yeah.
did. But
Let's talk
that
about now. Are they talking in LA? Is it like Detroit? Why didn't McVay kick the field goal?
yeah. Yeah, you brought that up last night
31-30
too.
is a lot different than 31-27.
Yep.
All of a
True.
sudden, that changes everything.
Yeah. Well, especially with the things that happen.
He
I
went for
mean,
it. I was surprised he went for it on that fourth down. I
yeah,
don't
I
know
was
why. There was
surprised
plenty
too.
of time left. There's like 5 minutes, I think. Like, why wouldn't I don't know. I don't know. I just thought they would have. It was crazy, and it wasn't a fourth and short. So I mean, it was. I forget the exact stat, but it wasn't like a 4th and 1 or 4th and inches. So,
Yeah. I
but
mean,
I wonder, is it like that in LA? Because in Detroit, that's all we would hear is everyone ripping on Dan Campbell. Why did he go for it? Why did he go for it? And of course,
well,
if
I
you
mean,
make it, you're the hero. You miss it, you're the goat. So, not the good goat.
Right.
well, like I said, that was one of the things that and that messed up punt reception. There's a couple things that it's just that's all it takes, man. Any game. Sometimes it's one play. Sometimes it's just inches or whatever.
Right.
Um,
Game of
that
feet and
determine if
inches.
you win or lose. So, I mean, that was a good game. I mean, both teams performed pretty well for the most part. It was the team that made the least mistakes came out on top.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. No, it
There's
was a
You
good
know.
game. They both teams played good. I could see it going either way. The Rams ran out of time.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
definitely rooting for the Seahawks and my boy JSN. Of course he's a Buckeye, but um, you know, JSN, man, he's
He's
an
a
all
good
pro
player.
this year too.
I like watching him play too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. He's a beast.
Patriots are back to the Super Bowl already. So are the Seahawks. I feel like they were just there not that long ago too. It wasn't that long ago. My Lions still have not been to one. That's what frustrates me.
So
Well,
yeah,
okay.
I
Just
mean,
saying.
our time's got to come soon, man.
I know.
It's got to come
Man.
soon.
It,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
one
yeah.
one other thing I just touched on this. I don't know if you want to talk about this or not, but in that Patriots game, man, that one play, that tush push. Did you guys see
I
my
didn't think he
text?
got it. I did not think he got that.
I didn't think you got it either. And the thing here's what bothered me about it. It's the playoffs. And when it happened, they were going to spot the ball short. There was two refs that was going to spot the ball short, and even the commentators made a comment about it. Then all of a sudden, they were like, "Oh no!" They said it's a first down, and that's the one where they showed the sky cam.
Mhm.
Remember, they showed the
The
sky
overhead view,
cam,
yeah.
and even on the sky cam, you couldn't tell. But because they called it a first down. I don't know where that came from, but
Yeah, it
that
was weird because the rules expert and Romo, everyone was saying it's short, and then all of a sudden, and then they just shut up. Then they just go, "Oh, it's first down."
but see, that's where my text came in about
The craft
Kraft
money.
money.
Craft. It's that craft magic.
I'm just saying, man. I mean, yeah, yeah. But anyway, yeah, we'll leave that alone for now. We got other stuff to talk about.
You want another quick conspiracy theory on why the
Yes.
Rams didn't kick a field goal? It was the Rams plus 2.5. They would have kicked that
Oh,
field goal.
mm,
I don't know.
mm.
Just saying.
Oh,
Oh man. Conspiracy
Good
theory.
games though. Good games. Especially the second one. Man, that was a barn burner. The Rams game was a
yeah,
good game.
yeah.
So
Hopefully the Super Bowl will be a good game.
Be revenge for Seattle.
But that's a couple of weeks away. So in the meantime, let's see. The last time we taped was like around the 5th or something like that. So it's been 3 weeks. We had to juggle our schedule around a little bit. we were supposed to tape before the weekend, and we moved it to today. So a lot's happened because let's start talking about the coaching carousel in the NFL.
Let's do it.
So I think there ended up being between mid-season openings, because remember, a couple coaches got let go and like before the season was over.
Yep.
But I think there was about 10 openings. There's only 32 teams, right?
Yeah.
So
I think there was 8, wasn't there?
No, there was 10. I'm pretty sure
10?
there was 10. Yep, there was 10, because now that I'm looking at my list, because I jotted down a list, 6 have been filled so far. And then I've got 4 still open.
Buffalo's still open.
That's right. Well, Buffalo is the latest one.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that first. Buffalo lost, right? They didn't make it to the conference championships. The day after they lost, what happened?
Sean McDermott gets canned.
Right. And I think I was shocked. I think a lot of people were shocked, especially that it happened so quick. But after I thought about it for a minute, you got to remember that there was so many openings before that game, and they were late to the party. If they had any thoughts of letting their coach go and finding a new coach, they had to get into the game like really quick. You see what I'm saying? Because everyone was already basically lining up interviews. So they had to let McDermott go because that's what they decided to do, just so they could even start lining up interviews. Or they would have been even further behind if they would have waited. Because, and that's my opinion. Then based off of some reading I did, and I don't follow the Bills real close, but some of the stuff I was reading made kind of sense that they might have had some top candidates that they had in mind that they wanted already too. One of them was Mike McDaniel, but he canceled his interview with them just the other day. And then right before we started taping today, Mike, what was the news with McDaniel?
It's official. He is the Chargers offensive coordinator.
Yep. He's going to work with
officially. It is done.
He's going to work.
That's from Adam Schefter a half hour ago.
Yeah, he's going to work with Jimmy Harbaugh. So
it was basically done anyways, but I know he was still taking interviews, so I was kind of confused. I'm like, well, maybe he didn't sign on the dotted line. I don't know.
Yeah,
but they're saying now it is official.
Yeah, now it's official, but he had lined up interviews with them, and then there was another team I think that he maybe had an interview with or lined up an interview with, and I think might have canceled. But anyways, he's off the table.
I'm curious to see how that works out because they're both a couple of strange dudes.
Yeah. To be honest, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised that's what's going to happen, but we're going to see. I mean, sometimes opposites attract, right? So I don't know, man. For some reason, they must think that they're putting together a powerhouse over there.
Is Detroit over crying? Is all the Detroit fans done crying that we didn't get them?
Yeah. Well,
here's the thing about that. It was just a big name. That's the only name they knew. It was just a name.
Yeah.
And TJ Lang, Super Bowl champion, ex-Lion, ex-Packer, he had some interesting comment on it. He said he liked that we didn't fire him. He said he thinks it would have been detrimental to our organization because he would have only stayed a year, and he probably would have took a ton of coaches with him when he left. So it would have drained us even more.
Ben
Johnson did. That's possible. I mean, this is the next NFL player too. So I mean, he knows what he's talking about.
Well, yeah, and since you brought that
and he's
up,
a sideline reporter. He's the Lions. He's on the field, and he's pretty knowledgeable about what's going on out there.
No, I'm glad you brought that up because what a lot of people don't realize, and like you said, most people don't understand it all. Most people don't know ball, right?
Most people don't know ball, man.
Most people don't know ball, man. They just need to chill, bro. But most people don't.
Whoa.
Most people don't.
Whoa.
Most people don't really understand and don't think about it. I mean, there's a lot more to it when you're hiring a coach or whatever, because just like you said, Mike, someone that's going to come in short term, possibly, that might take coaches, not just coaches, but they're trying to impress players because, someone that's looking to be a coach, a head coach, or go to another team, and they know like there's expiring contracts or whatever, they're trying to get in good with players too. There's a lot to consider. I'm just
Yeah.
throwing that out as one thing. You
And
see
it
what
was
I'm
just a
saying?
name. It's typical, like, people get name, big name, they all excited about a big name. I'm fine with the hiring with the Lions did. Drew Petzing, actually.
No,
I
I
mean,
am too.
I would have loved to have Mike McDaniel, but hey, I mean, what Saint said, trust, Dan and Brad, you guys trust that they know what they're doing. Um, and this, I mean, I did a little research on him. I didn't know Drew Petzing from Adam, right? I didn't, just like no one did. And only everyone knew Mike McDaniels because of his name and his quirkiness. And, I mean, he didn't have the greatest seasons at Miami, neither, in my opinion. The first two were good. There's that 70-point win he put up against, was it the Cowboys?
Something like
But
that, yeah.
yeah,
And
but
it,
I
and his
mean, his
and his
last two
high-powered
seasons weren't
offense
great
that
there,
fizzled out.
and
Yeah,
he had some talent, man. He had some
yeah,
talent there.
he did.
So, I mean, I don't know, but I would love to have him. But um, just seeing what I saw about this Drew Petzing, it seems like he's the right fit for Dan Campbell's offense to me.
Yeah, based off of what research I did too, what I heard. I mean, I feel real comfortable with the hire, but yet, sometimes things just don't work out.
Yeah.
Um, but
Like I
believe
said,
me,
I'm not qualified at assessing NFL coordinators to hire them. I'm not
well,
qualified to
same
assess them,
same
and
here.
neither are 99% of the fans.
Well, and that's a good point because you and we have nothing to gain or lose by this hire, right? But Dan Campbell has everything to gain or lose because you have to remember he's already gone through a few OCs. I think
Three.
this is I think this is his fourth one,
Yes.
right? So he's already gone through. I mean,
And
usually,
you know what? Sorry, the thing I want to throw in real quick is think about the big names, Mike McDaniel. Nobody knew who the hell Ben Johnson was 3 years ago. No one
yep,
ever heard of the dude. He was a tight
yep,
end coach.
exactly,
So I
exactly.
mean, now everyone's like, oh, we got to get a big name. We got to get it. We kind of developed him, right?
Yeah.
Or he developed that, in our system though, whatever. But my point is, no one heard of him before.
Well, that's just it. Sometimes people develop in a system, and sometimes people just do better off in a certain environment, in a certain system. I mean, obviously, Ben Johnson had a successful year his first year as a head coach, but
Couldn't beat
there's
the
no
Lions.
guarantee that he's going to be able to sustain that. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes the chips are just falling right
Yeah,
at that
I'm really
time.
curious how he does next year, how the Bears do next year, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, same here. And don't get me wrong,
Sometimes they have that second year slump or whatever. But I do think they're going to be a troubling team for us. They got some talent, man.
that's what I was going to say. They
But
do
I'm
have some
curious how they're going
talent.
to work out, how it's going to play out next year. So we'll see.
So with that said, let's talk about the coaches. Let's get back to the coaches. So we talked about McDermott being let go. Here's the hire so far. Uh, Ravens hired Minter, which
Yes.
Minter is a former blue team coach, right? He worked with Harbaugh years ago, right?
Yep, he sure did.
And the Titans hired Saleh, which he was a head coach, and then became he
He
went
was at the
back to
Jets.
what? San Fran.
Yeah.
And
He was a
then
Jets head coach, then went to San Francisco for defensive
yep,
coordinator.
yep. And once again, he didn't do
Dearborn
too
native,
hot.
Dearborn, Michigan native, shout out.
Yep, yep. But he didn't do too hot at the Jets, but the Jets have been a mess for a while, right?
No one
So
does good at the Jets.
yeah. So and then the Dolphins, they hired Halfley, who was the Packers defensive coordinator.
Yes.
Um
Did,
the
did
the
anyone know his name? Most people didn't
Nope.
know his name.
Yeah, most people didn't know his name. Okay. And then here's the big hires. the Falcons hired Stefanski, who was a head
Yes.
coach at the Browns,
Mhm.
which, the Browns were a mess, right? But he got rehired. And Stefanski, I think, and don't hold me to this, but I think Stefanski might have a couple of Super Bowls
Let me look for that
or
for you real
more.
quickly.
He might have some. I think Stefanski might be the one that has like 4 or 5 Super Bowl rings.
No.
Maybe, yeah, seriously. As on a coaching staff,
Yeah, yeah, as an assistant.
he might have several. He might be the one that I'm thinking of that has several out of all these coaches that have been hired so far. Um, and while that Doc's looking that up, and then the Giants, of course, hired John Harbaugh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
I know the Giants fans are excited about that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And they should be. He's the better Harbaugh, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same here.
It says here, sorry to interject here. It says here he has none, but that's only saying for head coach. He has, yeah, says he doesn't,
Okay, well maybe I got my wires crossed, or whatever. But
but
for some reason, I kept thinking Stefanski had some Super Bowls, or had been on Super Bowl teams.
yeah.
Um, but then the last one, the most recent one, which Doc keeps laughing about, is the Steelers hiring McCarthy. McCarthy, yeah, and I know a lot of people. I know Doc likes to read a lot of the threads and stuff like that.
It's
But
it's great.
well, not only that. I mean, he McCarthy, he was down there in Jerry's world for a while, so
He sure was.
so it's kind of easy to laugh at that. But you got to remember that's Jerry's world, right? But before that, where was he at? He had success with the Packers. He was a successful Packers coach. I mean, that's one of the reasons why Dallas got him. So you never know. Like I said, sometimes it's just being on a team that's a right fit for you. I'm really curious to see because to me, and this is just my opinion, the Packers, it has always been a good organization. And then he went from a good organization to a clown show in Jerry's world.
Yep.
But then now he's going to the Steelers, which to me has always been a good organization. So I'm curious to see how he does for the Steelers. And the Steelers don't switch coaches that often. That's been their history.
No, yeah. This is only like
So
their fourth coach in like 50 years.
so that's why to me it's like they must see something. They must have done some homework, especially since I mean it technically they didn't fire their coach, right?
Correct.
Tomlin technically like stepped down.
So when Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl with the Packers, you know who they played? Pittsburgh.
Oh,
It was Green Bay and Pittsburgh. And they beat Pittsburgh.
that's right.
How poetic.
So,
Little
How
fun
poetic.
fact.
well, it's just to me, it's an interesting hire. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because the guy's been not coaching for a little bit too. So yeah, it's interesting to me.
If I was a
And then,
Pittsburgh fan, I wouldn't be that happy with it.
Yeah. Well, and also too to go off of the whole Pittsburgh thing. You got to remember too, out of all of the NFL teams, Pittsburgh has like your job security as a head coach is like pretty much mostly guaranteed. Like this is like what their fourth or fifth coach they've
I
ever
think it's
had.
the fourth in like 50 years. Seriously.
Exactly. So I think that's
well,
the other thing that's so mind-boggling. And also too with Tomlin getting, him stepping down. Me and a buddy of mine who's also a big football guy, he had a theory. He's like, I think it was one of those things where if something didn't happen this season, then basically Tomlin had the talking to of, either you can step down or we can let you go. Which do you want to choose? And I think in this case, he chose to walk away on his own accord, quote unquote.
that might have been the case.
I don't think he wants to coach anymore, neither, because I think he would have got hired by several of these teams still open.
Exactly. I was going to say,
I think he might want to break.
well, and that's why I think, in my opinion, I see kind of a combination of both of what you guys are saying. But in my opinion, this was like his last hurrah before he got ready to. I think he wanted to kind of retire, even if he comes back in a few years, at least temporarily retire on top. And that's why he tried to do everything, including bringing Aaron Rodgers in, because it was probably Aaron Rodgers' last hurrah too. It was kind of like their last ride, and they were hoping to ride off in the sunset, and that didn't happen.
No.
But all the respect and the role for Tomlin, and I think Doc, what you said is kind of true, but it just because it's been that way in the past doesn't mean it's going to be that way. I mean, I think if anything, it shows that at least they give their coaches a chance to make a change.
Oh yeah. I mean, a
But
big chance.
well, yeah, but to me, the Steelers don't need a huge change. I mean, they've been making it to the playoffs barely for years. They just haven't done anything. They haven't made any noise in the playoffs.
Well, it's one of the
So,
yeah, it's one of the jokes in the thread in the NFL thread. It's it's Steelers fans. They go, "Well, guess the standard is the standard."
well, yeah, but that's just it. They're just looking. I mean, any coach that comes in, which now is going to be McCarthy, just needs to try and take them another step further. And you would think that he's going to have at least a few years to make that, unless he really digresses really bad. Anything can happen. But with that said, because of time, here's the head coach's spots that are still open. So I named the 6 that were filled.
Hmm.
Here's the 4 that are open still: Cardinals, Browns, Raiders, and the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who's going to take the
Wow.
Bills.
Yeah, so I want to touch on that because that's the one that we mentioned earlier that they probably had to let McDermott go right away so they could eat, because they were late in the game, coming to the game with all these freaking openings. Okay. And out of all these, in my opinion, the top 2, definitely the Bills is number 1 opening that's left. Okay.
Sure.
1000%.
Number 2, if you want to call it a number 2, would be the Raiders, only because they have the number 1 draft pick coming up. And it seems like what we're hearing, and this isn't a guarantee, but it seems like from what we're hearing, that maybe Brady's going to be putting in some more input into trying to get this team turned around, since he is a freaking part owner.
Yes.
So, so that could be a good thing. Now, just because you're a good player doesn't mean you're a good coach or a good owner, but it's just nice to hear that. In a way, it's kind of funny to me to hear that, well, he's been a part owner and now he's going to finally start wanting to get more involved. Well, what the frick has he been doing, you know, before? Maybe just wasn't spoken about. But
Yeah.
let's talk about the Bills, because as soon as McDermott was let go, and you would probably know this, Doc, because the Bills is your side team.
That's my AFC Buffalo Bills.
The name that I heard, the person that's still looking for a job, was Dable. Didn't you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. Yes.
Do you know why?
I no, that I don't know why.
Because Dable was their OC or quarterbacks coach or both in the past,
Okay.
and him and
Alan.
Allen are tight. So
Yeah. Yeah,
that's the
okay.
one thing that I heard.
My thing,
And
yeah, keep going.
well, and I was going to say the other one was their current, I think it's their current OC, which is what's his name? Joe Brady.
Hmm.
So Joe Brady, but they were like, a lot of people are saying, well, maybe that wouldn't change a whole lot, but because he's pretty tight with Joe Brady too. But to let McDermott go and just kind of promote Joe Brady,
I
I mean,
yeah. I think
what have you heard? I'm just curious what you've heard.
not necessarily what I've heard, but this is just this is my dissertation of it all. I think because you have an organization like that who also has Superman for a quarterback, this season especially was a big one because this one was on the line for a lot of reasons. You don't have KC that made the playoffs. The Ravens weren't in it. So this was like the window could not have been more wide open for the Bills. So let alone Josh Allen, but just the Bills in general to do something, and they didn't. So I think this was one of those things where upper management said, okay, if you don't do it this year, because there's no excuse now, you have no excuse, then we're gonna decide some things for you. And I think unfortunately in this case, it was just because McDermott couldn't get it done. And how long he been coaching there? What, 8, 9 years?
9 years.
Yeah. So, and look at all the playoff appearances they made, but how far did they get? I think that's the thing. I think it's raising a bigger question for all, not just the Bills, but I think just all teams in the NFL of, okay, what is the true longevity going to look like for coaching staff, players, if you can't make it happen. And I know Mitchell Thomas has always made the comment, getting to the Super Bowl is really tough. And I think this year, not having KC in it, yeah, it is really freaking hard. Like it is really hard. And especially when you're in the playoffs, we all can agree on this. Playoffs is a whole different ball game than regular season. You screw
Well,
up
yeah,
you screw up one time in the playoffs, you're done. You're done. You're going back home. You're going to Cancun. So, I think in this case, the fact that they couldn't get it done, and I think you know, unfortunately, McDermott's job was on the line. And so now, fast forward to present day, and to get back with Professor's main point here is I think what's going to need to happen is, yeah, so Dable seems like he could be the right fit. I think it's going to be one of those things where, what's it going to look like for this person to mesh with the team and also mesh with Josh Allen because Josh Allen, he sells tickets to that place. Like when you got a
yeah,
when you got a
yeah.
house name
Well,
like that, what's
well,
that going to look? And more specifically, here's a question I've even thought about, and I guess I'm going to throw this out into the universe. Is Allen going to be a Bill forever? Or is he going to want to look elsewhere? I don't know.
we'll see, but that's once again, and we can't talk about the Bills all day, but
Right.
one of the things that was brought up that I kind of agreed with is that Josh Allen knew McDermott was going to get fired. That, in my opinion, he knew that he was going to get fired.
Really, you think he knew?
No, I think he knew. I don't think they asked him should they, but I think he was notified. They had to, man. You got a franchise quarterback like Josh Allen, like you said. He's one of the top quarterbacks, right?
Hmm.
MVP. They let him know that, hey, if things didn't go well today, we don't make it to the big dance, McDermott's probably going to be gone. Think about how emotional he was at that conference. It wasn't just because he thought he let his team down. He
It
let
was
his
because,
coach down too.
yeah, because he
That's just
probably,
my opinion. That's
that,
my
that,
opinion.
okay. I could,
Now,
I could see that.
with that said, if they knew that, they kind of already they had to at least have some ideas of who might be on their chart, and that's why I brought up the Dable thing.
Yeah.
Dable to me should be on that chart, probably is. I'd be surprised if he's not hired. Only because with all these slots getting filled and all these coaches going now, there's not a whole lot left. I'm not saying that there's not good people to choose from. I just, I guess, and once again, I'm not qualified to do all this stuff. I'm not an owner or a coach or anything like that. Just looking at everything, I just told you about 4 openings. So there's 4 openings. I mean, some of the names that are out there besides
Hmm.
Dable. I mean, first of all, McDermott is available, but he just got fired from the Bills, so he ain't
Yeah.
going back.
No.
You know what I mean? Um, Mike McDaniel just got signed. That was official today. That's what Mitchell Thomas just said.
For
But you
Adam
got a couple
Schefter.
names out there like Flores,
Mm-hmm.
Matt Nagy, uh,
I
Kingsbury.
believe I believe Brian Flores signed yesterday signed a contract extension with the Vikings.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I did hear that or whatever. I had jotted him down here because his name was out there for
Yeah,
potential
yeah, for
head
sure.
coaching. And there's still some head coaches, potential head coaches. So maybe he's smarter than some of the other guys because he don't want to be the Browns coach or something. But uh Kubiak, you know what I mean? There's some names out there, some good prospects from what I hear that might be some good head coaches. But I'm just saying, when you're talking about the Bills, like you said, Doc, and you're talking about having Josh Allen, man, that's an important position. And you would think everyone would want that job. But yet you still, like Mike said, you still got OCs. If they're not getting the interview lined up or whatever, they're snatching other OC or DC positions now so that they can at least go where they kind of might have a good fit. So
Yeah,
I guess I'm just saying
it'll
the
be interesting
longer
to
it
see who ends up
takes,
at Buffalo.
yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. And just in
So
general, where everyone else is going to land. Like this is a
yeah,
weird. I called it. It's a
It's been a weird
wacky ass
season.
NFL season.
yeah, and to put this Bills talk to rest, let me make one last statement. Um, this is just my opinion. Once again, I don't follow the Bills a whole lot, but I think it was a mistake for them to let McDermott go this year.
I agree. I
I
agree.
thought it was a mistake. Yeah, like I said, with everything going on, all these coaches and everything else, to me, it was like one of those. And I think that might have been part of the reason why they did it. They're like, heck, all these other coaches are, all these other coaches are becoming available, whatever, but they were late to the game. And the reason I'm saying that is you talked about Superman that they have for their quarterback. Well, there's a lot of other Supermen that that ain't in the dance any longer. They're not making it to the big game, right? Like you
Correct.
said. I mean,
Correct.
Mahomes got knocked out. What was that thread that you sent last night? Named all the
Yeah.
mobile quarterbacks, right? That's another thing. I know Mike and I we chuckle about that a lot. Everyone says, "Oh, we need a mobile quarterback. We're not going anywhere without a mobile quarterback." All these mobile quarterbacks, man, Burrow and
Lamar.
uh,
Lamar, Josh Allen,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, they're
Caleb.
they're they're not in the Super. I mean, heck, Sam Darnold's going to the Super Bowl. He ain't a mobile quarterback.
No.
No. No, he's not.
So,
Drake
you know,
May. Well, I wouldn't call Drake May a mobile quarterback. I'd call him a running quarterback.
right, yeah.
He's more than mobile. He's a running quarterback, right?
Yeah,
Drake.
right now,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, but he's
Yeah, I
but
could
he's
agree with
young.
that
He's
one.
young.
Mobile means you can move around a little. I mean, Drake May's a running quarterback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, yeah. You could run when you were young, so could I. So
He knows how to run the pocket. I think, yeah.
yeah, no,
That's
no, no.
definitely
He's definitely,
yes.
definitely a good quarterback. Yeah, he's definitely done a lot this year to put his name out there. Looking forward to see what he does in future years. Not that I want the Pats to go anywhere or to become a mainstay in the playoffs. I'm hoping that this is a one and done for a while.
Yeah,
But
this is
anyway,
just a little quick
that's
lightning in a
just my
bottle
opinion
moment.
about the Pats. But anyway, so we need to touch on a couple other sports because we got to be running along on time. But we knew this was going to be. We haven't taped in a while, so are we good with NFL and the coaching and the
I'm
Super
all
Bowl?
I'm all set.
Um,
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks, get revenge against New England.
yes, yes, yes. Well, got to touch on the
Detroit
Detroit
basketball.
Basketball,
basketball
man,
Pistons.
let me tell you. Woo.
All
Well,
they
Well,
we're
do is
halfway.
win.
Yeah, we're halfway through the season, more than halfway through the season, and their
Half,
record
half
right
the
now is,
half the team had the flu or something. They're still winning.
man, they're just, yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. The way the roster sits right now, I think we still need another shooter. That's just my opinion. I've been trying to watch him a little bit more this year. We need another shooter, man. When Cade gets cold, um, Ivy hasn't been stepping up. I mean, Ivy was out, and he just hasn't risen to the level that I thought he would this season yet. But with that said, we do have good depth. We've got great players. Cade is an all-star. He's going to be starting all-star this year. So kudos to him. Well deserved. Their record's 33-11.
Wow.
They're still top in the East by several games, by like 4 or 5 games, something like that. And it's just about the All-Star break. It's coming up. So it's a little bit more than halfway through the season. We should, unless we just have a meltdown, we should make the playoffs. But like I said, in order to make noise in the playoffs, I think we need another shooter. I'm just going to leave it at that. We'll see.
Mhm.
We'll see if we make any moves here. Because I think the trade deadline is like sitting on our doorstep. But I also want to give a big kudos to our hockey town Red Wings. Red
Back
Wings
in
are
first
in
place
first.
again.
Yep, back in first place.
Dude,
Yeah.
that conference is so tight, man. So
Yeah, it is. But
it's
they're
up, down. Like first place rotates every other game. But yeah, wings are hot.
yeah, they're hot, and they're when you watch them play now, man, to me is there's just a difference from a few years ago. Right now, it looks like whenever these guys hit the ice, they're really, really trying real hard. I'm not saying that they weren't before, but it looks like it. It
Well,
looks
goaltending's
like
been huge too.
what's that? Oh,
Goaltending's been huge too. It's definitely improved from years
exactly.
past.
Yep. But yeah, it looks like that they're motivated, they're trying, and they're exciting to watch.
So no
Um,
sports today. Monday, January 26th. There's no Detroit sports going on. Football's done, right? As we know yesterday till the Super Bowl.
Yep.
College football's done. The Red Wings and Pistons both have a practice day.
oh wow. Yeah, I didn't realize that because I know that the Wings won last
I don't
night.
know. What are we going to watch? Netflix?
Yeah.
30 for
Yeah.
ESPN, 30 for 30? Find something.
Hey, yeah, there's some did you guys ever watch those shows that I mentioned before? Quarterbacks, the
No, I
quarterback
still
show and
haven't.
the receiver show?
I still
Yeah.
haven't.
Yeah, I
Well,
still haven't gotten
they're
around to that.
series, man. Watch the first one and you'll get hooked. Um, I think that those were really well produced, really well made. Um, but with that said, I also want to just give a quick shout out to um, and this is true in this area for years. We've always had great college basketball teams here in the metro area and in Michigan in general. But man, that the blue team's basketball team, man,
Yes.
they're monsters this year. They're like ranked like number 3. Um, and they're just rocking. And then of course we know that the Sparty's team, I think they're ranked number 10 right now in the country. But they're looking really good too. I mean, the records are pretty close. That's just the rankings. But yeah, that I'm giving big kudos to that blue team, man. Um, that blue team is jamming. Um, so
It's all
I'm
about the
just bringing
tournament, though.
what's that?
All about the tournament to me.
Well, I was just going to say, but
College
that's why I'm
basketball.
bringing it up because it's
March
almost February.
Madness.
Yeah.
February's next
This is
week,
about
and
the
then
time I start paying attention to college football.
yeah, before you know it,
Coach,
it's going to be
right,
March.
the Super Bowl's over, and then I get all wrapped up in the tournament. So
Well, yeah, I'm giving you a heads up, man. We're gonna have to watch both of them because they should be. I expect both of those teams to make some noise when it comes time for the big dance. Um, and yeah, just the Big Ten basketball in general. I just wanted to mention Nebraska. Nebraska is undefeated this year. So, we got good teams in the Big Ten. I mean, my Buckeyes aren't doing anything, but they're off and on. They'll do something for a few years and then they kind of disappear for a few years. But and this coming Friday, Michigan versus Michigan State basketball. I know you don't watch basketball, but that's this Friday. Okay. Just so you know, that should be a good game.
Excellent.
That should be a hell of a game.
Excellent.
So just want to throw that out there. I believe that's all I wanted to really touch on for right now. I mean, there's always stuff that we're forgetting, but I think those are the main things. And I forgot to mention, for those that are watching or listening to us, we really appreciate you. I know our show's called the Real Estate Tailgate. Just a reminder that, during football season, it's very heavy on sports, especially football, especially NFL. As the year goes on, because now that we're in 2026, and as the year goes on after the Super Bowl, whatnot, we'll get back to more real estate talk. And we'll have some good topics to talk about this year for sure.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Hardcore real estate.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I want to thank everyone as well. We very much appreciate the support, and we hope that you keep checking us out. And with that said, I guess we need to bring this to a close. I know we didn't touch on much real estate, but if you're checking out this show, man, we got one of the top realtors in the area doing this show, Mike Mitchell. Mike, how can they get a hold of you if they have questions or someone needs to sell a house or buy a house?
Thank you, sir. All things real estate, Mike Mitchell, 586-291-2652. You can call or text me there. Anything real estate. If you want to talk a little Lions, I'll be happy to talk that too with you.
There you go. And with me, anything regarding mortgages or home financing, Dave Underwood, call or text 248-219-3457. And I'll talk Lions as well, or Buckeyes. But and I want to give a huge thank you to Doc Hooper. You don't get a chance to see his face a whole lot. You'll see his face on this recording if you're watching, because we're doing a virtual taping here. But Doc Walter Hooper of Hooper Marketing is the man. If you're looking to do any type of podcasting, video, marketing, or whatever, you need to have a consult with that guy, even though he's wearing a Michigan hat. He's a good guy, believe me. All right.
True and blue.
I concur.
Thank you.
So until next time, folks, thanks again for all your support. And until we see you guys again, go Seahawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Get revenge against New England for Super Bowl 49.